Hey, this is Colwen coming back with another Transformer review. It's gonna be mainly about Kingdom War Cyclonus, but I do have my classics Cyclonus in here also because I want to do a little comparison back and forth. So, I've had this guy for a while now, and I didn't talk about him back when I first got him because I was focused more on doing the Beast Wars stuff for reviews. So, unfortunately, as you can see, mine has gotten quite a bit of yellowing. And, like, that was gray plastic. This plastic, I want to say, is painted. And, yeah, it just went all nasty and ugly. So, that aside, let's just talk about Cyclonus as he is. This is a recent, I want to say this was in 2020, 2021, 2022, actually, yeah. And it's a really nice modernized version. It mixes a lot of the old G1 toy with some design ideas from the classics. Let me go ahead and bring in the Silverhawk for comparison. This was the one that came out first, and then they retooled him into this. And you can still see he's got similar shoulders. He's got similar upper legs. But other than that, he's got he's got the same feet. But other than that, very few things. The shoulders, the feet, and the hips and knees. And like, okay, they got the back of the legs. But you can still, they did a lot of work to really change over and make a whole nother figure. Let's go ahead and talk about the Kingdom Wars 1. It's really nice. It's got good articulation all over. He's got really cool, like, a double jointed hinge in the neck. He's got a hinge there and then a ball joint in the neck. He is light piped, so if you get some lighting up behind him, his eyes light up very nicely. He's got really good shoulder articulation with the wings all incorporated straight into him. He's got an above the elbow swivel. He's got a nice 90-degree swivel, and yeah, that's for transformation. He's got his cool gun here. Where is all this red shit coming from? I really don't know. I must have spilled something on him. Okay. He does have waist articulation, and if you're so inclined, you can partially transform his arm to get the whole built-in arm blaster thing going on. He's got good waist articulation. He's got a universal jointed hips, above the knee swivel, and if you're willing to untransform his knee and have a big old gaping hole in there, you can get a pretty big knee bend. Otherwise, you're kind of just stuck to 90-degree bends. Yeah. And he does have some ankle rockers. They do go forward, but not so much back. So, but that still can help out with a lot of different poses. So, having ankles is really nice. But let's go ahead and talk about his older. This one is almost 15 years old. He came out in 2008. He did have his included target master, which we'll talk about real quick. Yes, if you're so inclined, you can plug it into the wrist. He's a cool looking triple barreled gun, and you just unfold him out. This is Nightstick. He's got some articulation in the arms. He's got swivel shoulders. He's got elbows, but that's really more for having him be able to transform. He does have hips, but again, that's just transformation, and you can individually swing his hips up and down. He's got a cool looking, neat little figure, and we're going to go ahead and just stick him over there, out of the way. You can tell there's a big, this was a deluxe, he's a Voyager, and like he's a lot skinnier and a lot more slender and stuff, but like they were trying to go for a slightly different look back then, but it still turned out for the time really, really good figure. He's got a swivel neck. He does have light piping. Don't know if you can see that. So it can glow up really well. His wings are incorporated directly into his back, into his shoulders. He's got an in and out on the shoulder, and he's got a shoulder swivel and an elbow, but there's really, it's kind of hard to get him to, yeah, like that. There's a swivel there, but again, that's more for transformation. You can fold out his hand, and if you want to, he does accept 5mm peg weapons. There is no waste that is entirely due to the transformation. And like, no, they couldn't even put a waist down here. They're just not back then. No. Ball jointed hips, above the knee swivel, got a decent knee bend. So, and these down here are really more his thrusters, but they can work very well as ankle tilts, ankle pivots, and whatnot. So while the older one is limited in articulation and the transformation will have issues, and like, there's issues with the older one, but for its time, the 2008 Classics was a great mold. One moment. So let's go ahead and bring in Film Noir Spider-Man for a comparison shot. And my soda can. Oh, no, he needs to go back there again. And then here we have the Carbots. So yeah, Cyclonus, even for his time, he was considered a slightly above height transformer, which was even better for him. So let's go ahead and get into transformation. Let's put him back there, and I'm going to transform the old Classics one first. So we're going to take the fists, and we're going to flip those back in. And we're going to come down here back to the back, and we're going to pull the arms away from the side, and they're going to twist it back on these smaller hinges. Then we're going to take the legs and split the legs from the bottom upwards and bring them all the way forward. So let's go ahead and look at that from a different angle. Split it from the side, from the bottom, and there's going to be these hinges on the inside, and you're going to bring that all the way forward, keeping the whole leg nice and straight. Okay, it's very important that you do that. Let's go ahead and close up these back thrusters here. Now, when you bring these back, these shoulder parts are going to kind of warp around the side here on the legs, okay? Then, take the shoulders, turn them around like so, and take the wings and bring them out onto the side. Then you got to take this arm here and shove it up inside the shoulder, then peg the wing in place, and then we can peg the entire engine wing assembly onto the side there. So let me go through that again. We've already taken this, we've got this arm here, turn it down there like that, then turn it again at what was the shoulder for the robot. Turn the forearm to where this peg is going to be lined up with this peg here, right? And then push that up into the shoulder. Take the wing, fold that over, peg it in there like that. And then you can peg that onto there, and now the whole back engine legs is all together. You can open up the back of the cockpit area to unfold out the nose cone. You're going to take his head, and we're going to face it upwards, turn him facing backwards, and then close the entire thing down. And that way you can hide his head away nice and easily. And then we can just go ahead and slide out the barrel tip. And right here on the back is where you would mount the nightstick in his gun mode, but it's just a big bulky gun. And I really don't want to have it on there for comparison, so I'll just... Actually, you know what? I should stick it on there. So this is what it looks like properly transformed in vehicle mode. And then I can just peg on there, and we do have landing gear to fold out, and I'm gonna put him back down here. Look, as his landing gear collapses on him. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the Kingdom War Cyclonus. Go ahead and take his gun. That is a neat little gun there, isn't it? I like the gun. So let's go ahead and start with his legs real quick. Okay, take the back panels of his legs out and fold them out. Fold the feet in. Fold the panel out. Fold the feet in. And then we can close that panel up. And there's his engines. Take the legs, and there's a long tab here with a slot there. And just put that together. Okay, We can come up here to his arms now. Again, take his, open up his front, pull his arm forward like that, and then turn the fist around and close it back down. So now we have his rocket pack. You're gonna bring the wing around to the side, and just like with the older one, the wing is going to tab into the side of the forearm. You don't flip it off, flip it forward. We have this little bit here. So, different angle. Turn the wrister like that. Fold out the little tab for the wing. Double hinge it out. Peg that together. The arms are all done. Now, to get the nose cone, we're going to do like we did on the older one. Bring the arms away, but leave this like that, because if you turn this around right away, you're not going to be able to open up the stuff underneath, because this swings back like that, and that goes forward like that, and then we can rotate the entire thing. I like they've even got clear plastic. You can see on the back here, there's clear plastic here, and that does reflect around really nicely, and it looks cool in certain lights. Turn that landing gear piece back. Now we're going to take this nose cone here. We're going to split it down the side. You're going to bring out the other nose cone. And then split that one. And get up inside here with your thumbnail. This is why you need a thumbnail. And that all closes together. Now we have his head down in there so he can be in the pilot seat. And we take this entire backpack and turn it around. Collapse the legs onto the upper thighs, and then there's a tab here, there's a slot here and a tab there, and that's going to go in like that. Then these just close down around the side. Turn the arms backwards, and we have him in his vehicle mode. And oh, this thing is gorgeous. Like, people lose their minds over this guy right now because that is just such a solid transformation. That undercarriage. Like, there's the legs, there's the arms, but, like, it blends away. And, like, those aren't legs and arms. Those are spaceship engines. And it is awesome. He's got the translucent plastic. Let's bring in the older guy for a moment. And, like, for the time, this was really cool. But look at all that gappage. You can see my hand behind there. Look what they did on this one. Completely solid. Completely solid. Gappage, holage, obvious head, obvious torso. Like, yeah. They're both really good, though. I'm not gonna. I know I'm crapping on the older one, but the older one's still a good figure. Let me go ahead and set them down. And I get you to stand up for me here. Let me undo the arms for a moment. And I'll get him a little tripoded out, because let's go ahead and compare him to the Metal Hawk. And again, just like I said in the Metal Hawk review, you can see how they took this guy and just changed a few things around, made the engines go forward, and like, come on. This is a really good figure too. We got Film Noir Spider-Man. We got the soda can. And we've got the two Transformer car guys. You should be able to find this guy for pretty cheap, pretty reasonable, about $30 at Walmart, Target, etc. He's still in the Kingdom Wars line. I don't know if they did a re-release of him yet or not. This guy, easily find him on eBay for about $25, $30 shipped. It's a good figure. It's a fun figure. They both feel different in the hands, but like, they're both fun, enjoyable figures. I'd go buy them both if you could, but if you really had to only get one, get the Kingdom one. The Kingdom one is such a massive improvement on the Classics Generations one that it's no wonder everybody lost their mind over this thing when it came out. So, this has been Colwen. talking about the Kingdom Wars Cyclonus versus the Classics Cyclonus. Thank you for watching. You enjoy yourselves.